welcome to CLadventure. C Christian, wife L Larissa Adventure. So today we are sharing to you the 5 tips of hunting yellowtail. Breaking news coming to you straight from the ocean. Not really, actually from the couch. But maybe if you could subscribe, I could appreciate it. These techniques, I've never heard them before. I've learned them over the years. I'm doing spearfishing for 8 years now, and no one is willing to share them. Or you have to pay for these techniques, or no one just tells you about the techniques. My first time spearfishing yellowtail, I was with the skipper on the boat and I said, "Skipper, tell me, yellowtail, it's a new species. I'm used to bottom fish, used to reef fish, you know, shooting a fish. What do I need to do? What do I need to know for hunting yellowtail?" And his answer was, all you have to do is when you see the yellowtail, you dive down, you put out your gun and you shoot. Which is in very simplicity, but I want to break down to you the 5 techniques of hunting yellowtail that works the best for me. Why am I sharing these techniques which I learned over the course of 8 years, and why am I sharing it? I feel that the hunting community or spearfishing community in South Africa, my experience, what I had is there's very little or rare people willing to help you improve your diving, which I experienced, and you kind of have to stumble and figure it out yourself. So you have these opportunities where the yellowtail is there, but you see others are shooting it, but yourself is coming with no yellowtail, or out on the slip and you see one boat has got a lot of yellowtail and your boat has no yellowtail. So it's almost like got the feeling that if they would share their secrets, they will shoot less fish or catch less fish. But in reality, that's not the truth. It just means that more people will enjoy themselves and more people will get fish. It's not meaning they will get less fish because they are using these techniques or different techniques. So let's just start with the equipment. If you are completely a beginner, this is perfect. If you know your equipment and you have hunted yellowtail and you have shot yellowtail, I've got some tips for you for a later stage that can help you improvement. But let's just start from the beginning, foundation level for those that just started. So if you were like me, hunting reef fish from bottom feeders, from red roman to galjoen to Hottentot or Cape bream fish, and you have the opportunity to go out on a boat or have the opportunity to dive on spots where there's yellowtail close to the reef and then yellowtail open in the blue. So first, equipment. Open in the blue here in South Africa, the Western Cape. Our yellowtail ranges from, if you dive up the west coast from Cape Point and up to the west coast, the average sizes you will get is around 4 kilos up to 10 kilos. I'm just going to break down to you some equipment which you will be needing. All the equipment you can find at Rabitech, not sponsored by Rabitech at all. Just the owner there, Louis, really helpful. I bought my equipment by him, very friendly and kind and willing to help. I'll put in a link below his website. You can order it overseas, you can buy it locally, and the equipment I'm going to show you was also bought by him. So let's start with your gun. Here I've got a 1.3 meters Rabitech Stealth Probe. It has the double rubbers or double elastics, and also which I prefer, even on my reef gun, which I have here. I just want to show you the difference. Now this is the reef gun. So I thought by myself, why invest more money if I already have my 1 meter reef gun? 30 centimeters, does it really make that difference? And this is the difference in length. So that 30 centimeters, which is a ruler, does it really make the difference? And yes, it does. I'll give you my experience when I was using this gun shooting yellowtail, even with the double wrap. So let me explain to you the double wrap. If I'm going to pull the trigger over here, it releases the spear, and then this is your wrap. So you can see what I mean by double wrap. So even on the reef fish, how I get those long shots into the reef fish which I'm shooting. And some do it, some don't do it. That's okay. So you take your wrap, and instead of making it single, you ask it to make longer. So Louis will know if you buy it by him. If you do it yourself, you do your attachment here in the back. This is not really a video for equipment, but I just want to give you an idea. Okay, so now your wrap is as long as your gun where your spear just went in. So then it's the first one. So we have now our spear inside. Here is our wrap on top. Okay, we hook it in there, we go down. So this, a single wrap would have been just one hook down here, one hook, and it will go up, and it will or attach. If you don't have a reel, it will or attach up here with a bungee cord, or like this bungee cord, it will just come up and attach there. So that's a single wrap. And if you have a reel gun, it will just, you know, just attach single. But when I mean by double wrap or even triple wrap, if I would have a roller gun, I would even triple wrap it. So this is for those long shots. It's a 50-50 chance. You know the fish is far, you stretch out and you pull the trigger if the spear has a drop in it. But because the roller gun has so much power, triple wrap will be perfect for it. Still land the fish. Okay, let's continue. Single wrap will attach there. Now it's going for the double wrap. So instead of stopping there, it continues to go. We clip it over here. It's made for it for a double wrap. It goes back down again. And then we clip it over the other side again. Over there. And there we have it. A double wrap. Then it runs back up and attach here to your bungee. If it is attached here, your bungee, you just attach it over there. So that's a double wrap. So me personally, I like the double wrap on my... If you made it thus far in the video, please press that like button. I see it's hard to press that like and that sub, but please press that like button. We'll appreciate it. And let's go on. Reef gun. It takes a few more seconds to load it, of course, because you have got this extra wrap and now you have to wrap it again. But I feel it's really worth it. If there's that trophy fish that's just around that corner, it's just moving away, and you stretch out and you pull the trigger, hit it behind the gills, through the head. You know, it's just so rewarding. Anyways. Okay, so that is on our reef fish. So my question was, can this gun work for yellowtail? And it can, but I would say for someone that is more advanced in diving, and also someone that has the patience to get that closer distance. I used this exact gun hunting yellowtail my first time as well, many years ago. And the water was blue that day. It was perfect. I see the yellowtail and I'm like, oh, the yellowtail is right here. And I pull out my gun, I stretch out my arm, pull the trigger, and it just stops before the fish. So the double wrap wasn't enough. The distance, like guessing the distance wasn't enough. So you need that distance and that patience to go closer to the fish to pull your trigger. So this, on that day, I did 2 or 3 shots on a yellowtail, didn't land any. The skipper was so kind, lending me his second gun, which was a longer gun, and I landed a fish with the first shot. So this gun could work, but I won't recommend it. If you're going for hunting yellowtail, invest in a longer gun. So here I've got the Rubitech Stealth Pro. Again, not sponsored by Rubitech. It is 1.3 meters long, double rubbers, also double wrap over here with a reel. The reason I like the reel gun, 6 or 8 kilos of yellowtail, even up to 10 kilos, you don't really need the float line. The float line is, of course, well for the safety. I'll show you the float line now. So the first time I also dived yellowtail, had a short gun, and I had this kind of float over here, so we call it a float line, but this is the float. And then you can use a line similar to this or even a better line, Louis will sort you out at Tech. So this is connected. You have maybe 20 meters of line, 25 meters of line. This is behind you, and then your line is then attached here on the back of the gun over there. So if you have to let go of your gun or the gun gets jerked out of your hand, you know that on the float line your gun is still safe. But because that safety buoy, that float is so small, I do recommend a bigger buoy. Let's continue. So now you have got your gun, your 1.3 meters Tech Stealth or whatever gun you are using. You are set up now with your gun. So that was the introduction. We haven't even yet started with the 5 tips. Let's go to the next piece of equipment for hunting yellowtail. This is called a flasher. This is your flasher over here. I'm gonna drop in, of course, some bonus tips. 5 tips, there's actually much more in this video. I will explain to you as I go forward, but there is 5 specific points I would like to touch, but I'm just running through some pointers and some things for improving your chances of spearfishing your yellowtail on your first time. Okay, so here we've got a flasher. So what this flasher is doing, it spins, the sunlight is reflecting on it, it's making a flash, like it's called, and it draws the attention of yellowtail. Yellowtail is a very curious fish, and when they see these flashes, they think it's maybe a bait fish in the water, so they come have a look at it. So this just creates attention for the yellowtail to come where you are located. So this is what a flasher is doing. When you have the flasher attached, you can have it attached to this buoy, but before it's attached, you want, let's say you are diving comfortably at 6 meters or 8 meters for that matter. Instead of using a line like this, now this will kind of scare off or kind of know the fish something is up this solid line. Instead of attaching this to your float line and have your float line attached, it is much better, and I recommend this. I used that exact line and it was a mistake. So you use a see-through line like this, you attach it there if you want to have this up to 6 or 8 meters, and then from after 8 meters you attach a normal line to the end of that is okay. But at least 6 to 8 meters to have a see-through line, not to make the fish aware that something is fishy. You know what I'm saying?